Welcome to the What Women Weighs WomenTalk Series, where women share what they weigh. To weigh is to evaluate in the mind and consider carefully, arriving at an opinion, decision, or choice. What Women Weigh is your venue to promote you and your weight in life. And now it's time to speak to the Woman of the Month.
Well, my name is Penny, and I would say that I have been a adaptive physical education teacher for over 30 years. I've been a basketball coach. I've been a softball coach. I am a camp counselor for women with cancer. And I weigh, well, I'll give you my weight, which is 100 pounds, which I'm happy with. And I weigh probably, I will use the word patience, and that word is very important to me, as I have been able to find patience and sanity in a crazy world of ups and downs. I have to say I have several. I guess the first one would be when my mom passed away. I was 34 years old, and she passed away from cancer, and it was pretty devastating to me and my family. And I never thought I could get through another day without her. As far as another moment that's life-altering, I would believe it would be when I was diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 42, and that really just changed my whole world. And I would say it changed me for the good, for the better. You know, after she passed away, and then when I got diagnosed, it gave me some like a cause to fight and to continue to live and to battle. And it was her death was inspiring to me, because it gave me incentive to just keep her in my back pocket and take her with me on my life's journeys. You know, not having her here for the cancer and the cancer treatments, you know, I just always kept thinking back to her treatments and how strong she was, and how she never complained. And, you know, here I am going through the same thing. And I just kept saying, well, Mom's watching me now, and, you know, I can't, you know, be a basket case and just keep breaking down and give up. And so she was, even though she wasn't here with me physically, but she was definitely with me spiritually throughout that ordeal. And to this moment, to this day, I mean, she's still with me. I have been running the New York City Marathon for a bunch of years now. In fact, I just finished my 14th New York City Marathon. And I was running, I had run for 3 years, starting in 95. And then when I got diagnosed in 98, I had to stop running for 2 years. And after all my treatments and I was good to go, I ran again 2 years later. And I put a picture of my mom in my back pocket, actually. And when I crossed the finish line, because it was a very difficult race for me, because I really wanted to prove to myself and to everyone that I was back, I was healthy, I could finish this damn race. And when I crossed the finish line, I just whipped out the picture of my mom and held it up. And they take pictures of you when you cross the line. And, you know, I held her up there with me as soon as I crossed the finish line, like we finished this together. There is a book that I read a long time ago. It was by an author who was, I believe she was a 2 or 3-time cancer survivor, and she wrote the book called Spinning Straw into Gold, and her name is Ronnie Kay. And I went to hear her speak at a hospital soon after I was diagnosed about what she had experienced, thinking that the most important thing that she mentioned was sharing. And I totally agree with her. I mean, in this life, if you are able to share something with someone, whether it's a joke or a recipe, or give someone directions to a gas station, or sharing your knowledge, or sharing your story, that's more important than anything, and that's pretty much what she was telling us at this lecture, and I try to live by that all the time, especially when it comes to, say, cancer. There's been a lot of women, I'm sorry to say, at my school where I teach, who come to my office and knock on my door and say, Penny, I have to talk to you, and right away I know what it's about. And at that moment, I go right into my sharing mode and tell them everything that I know. Some coworkers and myself did the Making Strides walk last month. It was a fabulous walk we did. And, everyone's talking about save the tatas, and I'm in the middle of everything. I go, well, what about just save the ta? and everyone just started laughing, and I can laugh. I can laugh about myself and laugh about. Otherwise, you'll jump off a bridge. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, you still can like poke fun at yourself and just look. At the end of the day, I didn't curl up in my bed and leave my apartment. I went out there and I lived. And that's what you have to do, and whether you laugh or, whatever. A good book about that, actually, is the Gilda Radner book. She passed away from, I think it was ovarian cancer, and while she was a very, very funny comedian, and she ended up marrying Gene Wilder, who founded the Gilda's Club, which is a fabulous place for cancer survivors and their families. But she wrote a book called Is It Something I Said? And she made jokes the whole way through her treatments. She would be in the hospital room and they would roll in movies like from Lucille Ball, like I Love Lucy, and all she wanted to do was just laugh and just be silly and goofy, and that's what got her through, I guess, some of her treatments. Unfortunately she didn't survive, but it's a good book. It's a very inspiring book to read. I actually think that, when you first get diagnosed, I think everybody goes through a little pity party.
Yeah.
Like, why me? And why of all the women did I have to get it? And look at my age, or what am I going to do about my children? Or, everyone goes through those moments. And after you start to recuperate and get better, you start to get your life back, and then you end up saying, why not me?
Wow.
What's so special about me that I wasn't supposed to get it? So I did get it, and now you have to just continue to enjoy the moment, like I was saying before. And, yeah, you do look forward to the future, but you kind of stay in the present.